A message from an introverted, kept in young lady. It's only God who defines you, not even yourself. It's only Him who sees what's in you. And when He gets to show you, you better trust Him, believe in Him, and receive it. It's only when we humble ourselves so much to understand that letting go of control and letting God take the lead, we enable His supernatural being to encounter and take dominance in our situation. Stick to God. Keep your eyes on Him and watch Him reveal who He is, not just to you, but most importantly, through you. I am who the great I am says I am. I am God's beauty.
People think what should come into mind. So we're not going into the interview yet. We're gonna give them a beautiful song.
Oh,
so you can settle in,
nice break,
you know? But just a quick thing to leave them thinking.
To leave them thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How I identify myself is I am who God says I am.
Amen.
Yeah. So I want people to see that. I want people to see everything about me. I just wanted to resemble God's beauty.
Amen.
That is what my name is about.
Now the lady says, I want to resemble God's beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So the song I'm gonna give you guys right now is Wamushe.
Hey,
How
how
you guys was Wamushe, right? And when we come back, we're gonna get straight into this beautiful interview that I'm sure that you are eager to listen in on and get some of it. Yeah, get some of it. This is Wamushe by Slade.
And we are back. Now, right there was Mr. Slade saying one more thing. What's the one more thing? Right about now, it is 12 minutes past the hour 11. We are straight into the segment Local Spotlight. Now, today we are joined by the beautiful Botleba Mudimu. And then she definitely looks up and definitely lives up to her name because Botle. Omotle, you know. Yes, ma'am. You definitely stunning. Like,
Thank you.
you saw how like you outdid my sister.
If you guys were in studio right now, this lady, let me just briefly describe her, right? She is wearing a blue, a traditional blue, right? And she's wearing a white top. It's like a polo neck with a gold necklace on top with a red lip. And her glasses are gold, so they match the necklace. Right? And her nails are red, so they match her lips.
Yep.
And her skirt is blue, so it matches her. And her waist belt is gold to match everything, to make everything sync. So you can just imagine someone with soft, beautiful, light skin, with a soft, beautiful voice here in studio.
It's giving graceful.
It's giving Okay, so we're gonna play a quick game and get straight into the interview. Right? So the game we're not playing a game. We're gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
We're
Just a question how you relax.
What we've been doing. In the past hour we asked the question, if you had a new skill, talent or ability, like you wake up tomorrow and you have it, right? What would you choose and how would you use it?
Whoa. That's crazy because I believe that you can be anything that you want to be.
Amen.
And anything is possible with God, you know?
Mm.
So I never thought of it like this.
Yeah.
And this is just hitting me like from all corners, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Okay. Now we had people who would like, I would like to have the ability of reading people's minds, and I'm like, okay.
Ooh, okay. Now I see where we're going.
Would you manage that? Like, be careful what you ask for, because knowing every single personal like deep thought, that would literally just mess you up. Especially if you're like an overthinker. Like, you're already overthinking, but you want to know what's in other people's minds. I feel like it's just gonna throw you off. Like, it's so overwhelming.
Insane.
Exactly.
So I now have what I would wake up the next day to have, and that is the ability to talk to animals.
Oh, Dr. Doolittle.
That is so adorable. Why do
to
I think of
understand
that?
them.
What
That is so
animals though?
like all of them.
You
yes.
you literally grew up watching Dr. Doolittle, didn't you?
I'll
I'll take that as a yes.
Okay. So with Ramadi, now we know that you have a YouTube channel. And you said you're a deep thinker, you're a woman of God.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about that and that journey.
Whoa. Okay. Really, it has a lot to do with my relationship with God and how far I've grown. It wasn't always a happy, or it wasn't perfect. You know, there was a lot going on, and there was. Let me just say, it all started when I was at my pits. You know, when it was. Everything was not going well, and that's what triggered the fact that I really need God. And through that's when I got to know more about Him. And knowing more about Him, I delved and dived deep into my spirituality, all the more to find Him and know Him for myself.
Amen.
And that relationship with God then grew into something I never even realized at the beginning. And at the time that during my struggles, God enabled me the ability to also encourage myself so much that with the encouragement that He has encouraged me with, I was also able to encourage people even while in the adversity. And through that, He took it that far to say that, okay, now it's about time to spread out my word and what I've been implanting within you.
Amen.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
I really love how, first of all, before I get into the deep sentimental stuff, you use a word that I'm going to highlight in this pit, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm highlighting that word is because in the first hour, we had a little game where we would ask elderly people just things we say that they might not understand, and we chose to use abbreviations. Because, again, I'm going to use this example again, because yes, it's relevant. On the talk, Kamu, Kamkhelo Ms. K, said POV, and she had to explain to the host of the talk what POV means, which is point of view. So we decided as a social club, we're going to ask more adults, what do you think this word means? So now I'm curious to think, if you would say pit to your mom, do you think she would understand what you mean?
Not at all.
So can you please explain to the listeners, Uti, what does pits mean? What do I mean when I say, guys, I'm in my pits, I'm in my...
I'm deep in it.
So it's more so like the depth of adversity and the storms in life, technically, and having yourself in a place where there's so much going on and it's just so dark. It's just so dark. You're just desperate for help. You're just desperate to get out of this umgodi, you know. So yeah. That's what it means.
So, I really love how you used a dark time of your life to seek out and find God, and how that has transpired to be something so beautiful, and now you're helping other people as well. That is so beautiful.
Yeah. So my question to you is, okay, as someone who has already thought about like having a YouTube channel, right? And it's like when I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it from a place of pain in a way, kind of like use it as a way to take out the things that are inside me. Exactly. You know, when it comes to you, what was the struggle? Did you even struggle? Like, okay, God, if I do this, like, am I gonna succeed? What was that thing that actually kept you encouraged and also made you brave enough to actually say, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna keep doing it?
The YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so me going through the hard times in my life, it was way before I started the YouTube.
Okay.
So it was like approximately 2 years before. I'm not so sure, but then I also went through a season where I was seeking God entirely and also healing. So because there's a lot of healing that takes place after the pain and after the sorrow. And that was the time period where I got to know myself more. I got to know a lot about God. And that in of itself was something that empowered me to also share the light with everybody else.
Okay, let's say what gave you the boldness, you know, because with most people, I think we over procrastinate. You know, we think, okay, what if I don't succeed? What if I struggle with like consistency? What if this is not the way to go? You know, because like you be thinking, okay, cool, I have this idea, but sometimes because we are told or we know now what there's your thoughts, you know, the enemy's thoughts and God's, you know, so it's like now, what pushed you and encouraged you to keep going and actually like cancel out the negative things and be like, I'm just gonna focus on this.
Is the fact that God has done unbelievable things before in my life. Where I never thought there was an out, and there was. And for that to happen, I just had to hold on. I just had to, because that pit that I was in, He took me out. So for me to see Him take me out was evident enough to say that it can happen, even in every other area.
Amen.
With everyone else, and that's what I'm also here to share through my channel. That it's possible.
And so, how can people get in contact with you? What is the name of your channel? What are your social media platforms? If anybody here is listening and is wondering, okay, now I'm hearing this and I want to know, I want to follow along, I want to take onto this journey because maybe I'm in my own pits as well. Maybe I'm going through it as well, and I want to see somebody who's made it out. I want to see somebody who's had God hold their hand, and maybe I want God to hold my hand as well. What are your social media platforms, and what would you say to that person?
Social, I'm not so much on social. So I only have YouTube. I had Instagram before, but that ultimately led to YouTube. And on YouTube, I am God's Beauty Official. Literally my name. And I also, this is a surprise to a lot of my subscribers, that I have another channel called God's Beauty Official Revealed. Now, that part of the channel is more so to actually actively fight the war. You know, because I believe that God allows you to go through that pain to show you what's in you, to show you who He's put within you. And through the adversity, I can tell you right now that I'm so grateful that I went through all that I went through, because I wouldn't have been who I am today.
True. Amen.
And that's what God had to show me, to also equip me enough to help people in those areas as well. And a lot of the times I'm very spiritual. I'm in the spiritual space because of the equipping that God has been equipping within me. And so God's Beauty Official Revealed is more so to help people fight spiritual battles.
It's to help people understand the tools they have.
Exactly.
God has given them to fight this war, because you know what, guys? This war, it is a war.
Every single day.
It's war.
You do not fight against flesh, but fight against
principalities.
Exactly.
Girl.
And we can and also I like the depiction of Jesus when He's the lamb and the lion at the same time. It shows us that we are doves, we are humble and peaceful like doves, but then at the same time we need to be wise and we need to be
yeah, because mind you, I'm thinking, wait, so I can be a bubezi in a way.
Well, I think it's the have to be wise like a serpent.
I'm thinking, okay, so that means I have a little wow in me.
I love how you describe it. I
have a little bit of fight in me. So okay, this is where I actually I think most of your work kind of comes in, especially for girls like me, where whenever we are faced with like certain emotions, we always think, oh no, it's probably because of something that I did. excluding the fact that life is actually spiritual. Some of the things that you go through actually happen first in the spiritual realm before they manifest, you know.
Exactly.
So whenever we go through something, we'll be like, oh no, it's probably because maybe I didn't fast or I didn't pray enough or stuff like that. But it's like we refuse to see how we turn it.
Oh, yeah, bongo.
What happened? Why your heart are down? Do you want to coach us?
Matthew 10 verse 16.
Amen. It's him.
Yes.
Bula baby le ngwana.
Well, that is.
Bula baby le how it. Check it.
It's you taking the scarf and making it a shawl.
It's a highlighter. We highlight it. Let's go with the
Baby, little one is.
Matthew 10. Matthew 10.
Hey.
Behold, I sent you forth as sheep
Hey.
in the midst of wolves.
Indeed.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Oh, Jesus.
End quote.
Amen.
In this verse,
Yes.
Jesus was commanding his disciples as he was commanding us today.
Yeah.
To be wise.
Yeah.
As serpents. So what's going on? A serpent, Yafa, Ifi, Apola, Elisha, demonic. Men, my dear child.
Hey, my dear.
All animals were created by God.
Yeah.
And I
It's
believe
giving
even in
so
that
much
story, and I believe also in that story, the serpent was used.
Yeah.
Angel, because everything happens in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And the devil is spirit. And therefore he used a serpent.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean God can't take characteristics of the serpent.
Yeah.
Because God created the serpent.
Yeah.
Not the devil.
Amen.
Not the devil.
Yeah.
He can't create
He can
anything.
create nothing. He was created by God.
Can't create anything. So guys, let's go back to the demoni mo Bible. Are look for wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, I had my friend tell me, Hori, you know there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Amen. Yeah.
Whoa.
You know,
a huge difference.
exactly. And wisdom comes from the Lord.
Whoa. Exactly.
Wisdom comes from the Lord. And
these there's a time, because during when I went through a lot, I remember I was saying, because I was also struggling with my education, and I would pray a prayer and I would say, Lord, please give me wisdom.
Yeah.
Please give me wisdom.
Yeah.
And I was not even aware that the wisdom that he was giving me is not for me to be intelligent,
Yeah.
but
To
the
sound
wisdom,
intelligent to others as well.
exactly. But the wisdom he was giving me was in his word.
Yes.
Amen.
And
Yeah.
the more I got to pray about
Yeah.
it, I got to see that, wait, you're giving me wisdom in your word.
It's like I'm giving you wisdom to come closer to me.
Exactly. And that just blew my mind.
So my question to you is being I would say the transformed you, right? And the version of you that went through a lot. What are the changes that are there as well that you're trying to help other people through?
Wow. Is to the changes I went through was spiritual. So I had to know what was going on in the spirit. And the only way you get to know that is to be closer to God, closer to the source that knows you more than anybody else, more than you even think you know about yourself.
Amen.
And it's can I even use an analogy from the Bible? It's like with Moses, the story of Moses when he was talking to the burning bush and there was God. The first thing that in that encounter, the first thing that happened was when God was telling Moses who he was. And then after telling Moses who he was, that's when he told Moses about the situation going on. And he knew very well that Moses was affected by that situation because of an incident that happened before. And after that, that's when he told him who Moses is. You get it?
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
so now that's the same with everybody else. We first encounter God. And for us to encounter him, that's when he tells us and lets us know who he is. Through his word, through spending time with him. The more closer you get to him, that's when you know all that. And then as part of that now that you know who he is, he now tells you about this before who you are.
Okay.
He tells you about the situation now. What's going on, what you've been in.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What's going on. The bigger scale. What you're not seeing, but what you're missing.
Yeah.
And then what bothers you as well. And what has been troubling you.
Because we have the whys in our heads.
Exactly.
So
And
this is
that's
what
what
he
he
reveals.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. This is why
I love
it's
that.
happening.
Exactly. And then from there, He's like, now, this is who you are.
Among all these things.
Yes.
Because it's so easy for us to let the things that are happening right now that we see to define us as well.
Exactly.
You know, we take our situations right now, we make it part of our identity.
Oh,
So I think
goodness.
now
Wow.
when you explain it properly, where it's like, okay, he now shows you why or what's happening. Now you get to know the answer to your why, as well as when he comes to tell you who you are. So now you know how to maneuver even in the storm and understanding that he's with you in the valley as well.
Exactly.
So, guys, me, I'm telling you, if you want to ask this lady a question, send it now.
I feel fired out. Like I just feel like
If you
now
send this lady a
God
question,
is whispering in my ear, like
send it now. On Instagram, we are.
see what I meant.
On Instagram.
Like this is what I'm hearing in my head. Like see what I meant. Because like
That's
literally,
beautiful.
you know how I literally kind of like interjected and was like, he shows you who you are, and you were like, no. Before that, he shows you what's going on. So it's like now when I actually look at the things that I've been through, and like I always ask myself, oh, why me? Why this? Why this? And sometimes I wouldn't look at what's already happening because everything's happening in my head, you know. So it's like sometimes you'd be in the right room, but because you're in your head so much, you can't tell exactly. You can't see you're actually maybe in an answered prayer, or you're in a good space, you know, where it's like, oh, God will color, but okay, let's go to an ad break.
Can I pay some bills? We are 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So we are at the building, and you know what it is.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up this beautiful conversation, sadly. Because we need to plug you.
Go deep.
We need to plug you. We need to put you on. You know what I'm saying? We need to put you on to the movies, the things to watch, and you know, yeah, the conversations here are deep.
I just feel like I'm so overwhelmed, but at the same time, it's like I'm seeing things. Like, okay, in my head, I'm still hearing, you see what I meant. I don't know why, but it's like now when I'm looking at my question from yesterday, like, God, I don't want the things that I want if they don't allow align with you.
Amen.
Right? Because there's so many things that I want, and also I have like this fixer in me that sometimes stays in bad situations thinking I'm gonna change them. So it's like now he's saying there is power in letting go and letting me do it. You know, so when now he's saying, see what I meant, it's like, okay, I've let go of like some things where I said, okay, I can't carry this cross anymore, it's too heavy for me, you know. So now it's like he's saying, this is what I meant by saying let go and let me take over. And it's like so weird because I've carried this so much in my heart that it weighed me down. So like you saying it now, it's like, yo, I can't even ignore that. Like,
Wow.
just let it all go. Like, cast all your anxieties onto me. You know, release, let it go. Hey, we let it alone.
If you want to tag along to this beautiful journey, if you want to also now hear from God,
Yeah.
See
what I meant? Like I told you so.
I encourage you to follow along. I encourage you to open your word and read it. I encourage you to seek God and seek His kingdom, because all things come after that. All things will be added unto you after that.
Yep.
Now, wrapping up this beautiful interview that we've had with you, what would you say to the listeners? Just a word maybe that's in your heart.
Yes.
And yeah, just
I
after
think
that.
as a word of encouragement, because already I've like kind of got my piece from what you said, right? But also but also there's another person who's listening, you know, probably trying to figure things out. Maybe they are in the pit that you were in before, you know, or they're in their own pit, because we all go through different things, you know, different aspects. Yours was spiritual, maybe theirs is emotional, you know. So what are your words of encouragement to them?
To never give up on God.
Amen.
To never give up on God, and never also give up on His word. You know, so many times when we go through a lot, we are so much in our heads that we're not so focused on what He's trying to do. And
that's cool.
what He's trying to do, because it's bigger than you.
True.
It's bigger than we could ever even imagine. And so to cling on to Him and to hold Him is literally, you know, when Peter was walking on water, yes, is to keep your eyes on Him, not on what's going on
the storm,
not on the storm, is to keep your eyes on Him, because you will get to the other side, and that's where He'll show you everything. That's where way he will show you why you had to go through all that.
Okay, baby.
And that's
Before Luina starts speaking in tongues, guys, well, one thing I know about this girl, when she gets in the spirit, it's straight to tongues.
What is the song that you would like to leave us with?
Oh, okay. The song is a song that my very first videos on YouTube had an intro with, and it's called Dwalalam by Charlotte Life.
Dwalalam.
Yes,
By Charlotte Life. Charlotte Life.
L-Y-F. Yeah.
There's this song in my head, Lion. I don't know who's. I think it's Chris Brown, not the Chris Brown, but Chris Brown, the gospel singer. Yes, Lion is in my cause. The moment we talk,
Oh my god!
the moment we spoke about the lion,
wow.
that song came into my head.
Oh
Literally.
my goodness! That song, I don't know. The Lord has spoken to me through.
Exactly.
Amen.
But right now, we have Dwalalam. Charlotte Life. And we just had beautiful Butlabamdimu that you can get contact with on YouTube.
Yes.
And your YouTube is
God's Beauty Official.
God's Beauty Official. And she leaves us with a beautiful song titled Dwalalami. Enjoy.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you so much.